victim was a nurse and a mother of 4. Tonight, the community lit candles in her memory while her family is demanding justice.
In the medical world, a nurse's job is to protect life, to monitor the small barriers between health and tragedy. Tomeka was a veteran of that world. 41 years old, a woman whose hands were trained to heal and whose heart was open to love. But when that love turned into a hunt, Tomeka did what we are all told to do. She asked for help. She stated her fear. And in return, she was met with a laugh that would chill anyone to the bone. Her ex-fiancé looked at her and issued a challenge. "You need to put more locks on your door." He was telling her that her sanctuary was a cage. He was telling her that her life was already over. He was just waiting for the right time to collect. I'm crime in the shadows. Today, we look at the case of Tomeka, a woman who built walls of steel only to find that the system had already given the key to a monster. Tomeka wasn't just a statistic. At 41, she was in the prime of her life. As a nurse, she was the backbone of her community. Her friends described her as the one who took care of everyone else. Then came the fiancé. In the beginning, he was the perfect partner. But for Tomeka, the professional observer, the cracks started to show. It wasn't just jealousy, it was an obsession with her time, her movements, and eventually her very existence. Why do high-functioning women like Tomeka often find themselves targeted by narcissists? It's because nurses are natural fixers. They see a broken man, and they see a patient. But some wounds don't want to be healed, they want to be shared. To understand why this happened, we have to look at the man who turned a promise of marriage into a death sentence. Cassius Miller. To the world, he was just a man in a relationship with a successful 41-year-old nurse. But inside the home they once shared, Miller was a different person. He was a man who thrived on a specific, terrifying brand of psychological dominance. When Tomeka finally found the strength to walk away, she wasn't just leaving a fiancé. She was challenging a man who believed he owned her. It was during one of their final tense interactions that Tomeka looked at Cassius Miller and told him the truth. "I am afraid of you." His response wasn't a denial. It was a cold, mocking laugh. He looked at this woman, this healer who spent her days saving lives, and told her she needed to put more locks on the door. Cassius Miller wasn't just giving her a warning. He was letting her know that he was already a ghost in her house. He was the shadow at her window, the heartbeat in the hallway, and the man who decided that if he couldn't have her, no one could. We need to talk about the night everything turned sour. 41 years of life, decades of nursing, all coming down to a few seconds of terror. He didn't just break into her house. He broke into the idea that we can ever be safe. The investigation would later reveal that Tomeka had done exactly what she was told. She had the locks, she had the alerts. But the law is a piece of paper, and a bullet is lead. Tomeka was 41 years old. She was a mother, a daughter, and a nurse who spent her nights standing between her patients and the grave. She was a woman who lived by the code of care, but when the shadows came for her in the form of Cassius Miller, the world didn't offer that same care in return. Miller didn't just take a life. He tried to prove a point. He wanted us to believe that fear is inevitable, that no matter how many locks we turn, the seas of the world can always find a way in. But he was wrong, because by telling her story, we refuse to let the darkness win. We name the hunter so the next victim knows exactly what to look for. We remember the healer so her hands can still reach out through the screen and warn someone else. Tomeka's story is a shadow that shouldn't exist. If you or someone you know is living in the fear that Tomeka felt, if someone has told you to put more locks on the door instead of respecting your peace, please reach out. The numbers for help are in the description below. If you believe Tomeka's story needs to be heard, hit the like button and share this video. It's the only way we keep these stories from fading into the background. And before you go, I have one question for you. When the system tells a woman to just lock the door, who is really responsible when that lock fails? Is it the law, the police, or is it all of us? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe to Crime in the Shadows to join us for our next full-length investigation. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and always watch the shadows.